and gentlemen, welcome on into Terre Haute tonight here at Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. Tonight, your fighting engineers are hosting the Wash U Bears tonight. So this broadcast is brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment, your local hometown John Deere dealer since 1955. With 5 central Indiana locations, Reynolds meets all your equipment, parts, and service needs. Boilermaker Local 374, representing skilled workers across Indiana. Discover the Boilermaker advantage with Local 374. Bertner Electric, spark with confidence. Your trusted electrician partners since 1986. Wheeler Mission, helping our neighbors in need since 1893, thanks to generous, caring individuals like you. The Morales Group Staffing, building better futures, one story at a time. Let us help you find your next opportunity. LifeWise Academy. LifeWise Academy brings Bible education to public schools students during school hours. Learn more at lifewise.org. Liuna, the Build American Union, 500,000 strong. Fighting for better wages, safer job sites, and greater opportunity. And last but not least, the IndianaSRN sports page. From the court to the field, IndianaSRN brings it home. Daily information from coast to coast and border to border. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Matthew Hagenbaugh. I'm here with Joy Derengowski. What are you looking forward to today?
Well, another great matchup for Rose-Hulman when you consider their schedule as early as they have played some very good teams. This is just another one, and they got more coming, believe me, and especially coming up on Saturday when they go back into conference play. They're going to play Anderson at Anderson. So this is going to be a big game tonight just from a standpoint of confidence. I don't even know if you really care if you win this game because it doesn't mean a whole lot in the overall picture of the HCAC. But I think you want to come in, perform well. They've done so at home. We just came off a win a couple of days ago against a Bluffton team that gave them everything they wanted right up until the very end. But Washington's a different animal. You're ranked number 4 in the country in Division III. I know you're going to talk about some of the numbers and some of the players. They shoot well. They're deep. They defend well. There's just not very many things they don't do well in their first few games of the year.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, this game, you're correct, doesn't mean a whole lot to them. I mean, obviously, if you come in, get a ranked win, a win against a ranked team, that's obviously going to look great behind you as Rose-Hulman looks to go 5-2 right now. They are 4-2 currently and 2-0 in the HCAC. Wash U 7-0 overall. They have not played a conference game yet there in the UAA. But like you said, here at Anderson, I will be there actually in Anderson this coming weekend. I believe the tip-off is at 3 p.m. in Anderson. I'm definitely looking forward to that as both teams are looking tough this year, looking very tough.
Well, and Anderson just came off a big win, too. They go on the road, I think it was Berea, in which they just went lights out. And so even though they've had some early season issues, to be able to come back and get a win on the road in the HCAC is big for them. For tonight, though, Rose-Hulman, they're going to have to play really well. This is a Washington team, as we said a little bit ago. They shoot well, not just from inside the arc, but they shoot well outside the arc. And they also rebound extremely well. They're out rebounding their opponents over 12 per game. When you can do that, you're going to win a lot of games. And I mentioned their depth a little bit ago as well. And I'm talking about 12 players that averaged 10-plus minutes in their first 7 games, and that's almost unheard of. You see some coaches might experiment a little bit trying to find the right combinations, but believe me, they got the right combinations or they wouldn't be undefeated and they wouldn't be 4th in the country. So a lot of those numbers are going to show up big tonight. Question is, on the other side, does Rose-Hulman, who, by the way, I like their depth this year better than I have in the last couple of years, but can they match that coming off the bench? One thing about the Fighting Engineers, they've had players come off the bench, young players, and be able to score for them and give them some instant offense.
You're exactly right. Let's take a quick look here at a little deeper dive into this Wash U men's team being led by Connor May, averaging 18 points a game. That's not by accident. Shooting 16 for 40 behind three-point line. That's 40% behind the three-point line, and has 88.5 58% from the free throw line is just there to add some more to that.
Yeah, and the guy averages 7 rebounds per game, shooting 51% overall. And the thing is, he's got plenty of help, too. It isn't just May, though he's going to hurt you quite a bit. Anthony Prisbilla is another guy who is a 14-point scorer, and he shoots at 66%. And I believe if you kind of look at them, and we'll talk about Ryan Cohen as well because his numbers are almost unfair. When you look at what they're able to do, you can't pack it in on them and play, let's say, a 2-3 defense. That's not going to work because they'll use these stretch guys that'll stand out and beyond the three-point line, and they'll bury you. And if you do come out and guard them, they have the ability to put the ball on the floor and get it to the basket. So I guess it's kind of like pick your poison for Rose-Hulman tonight. I think from a standpoint that Rose-Hulman plays very good defense, they're really going to have to lock down. And the other key is they're going to have to stay out of foul trouble tonight.
You're exactly right. I was taking a look here. You're right. You can't play 2-3 zone.
No.
If you play 2-3 zone, you're going to exactly going to shoot the lights out. I mean, you said Ryan Cohen shooting 55% behind the arc, and it's not just shooting 10 shots. He has 21 makes. He's 21 for 38 on the season, proven that he can shoot the arc behind the arc. And they have a bunch of other guys who, to me, have proven that they can at least bury it a couple times. Like you said, Anthony Prisbilla, he's shooting 80% behind the arc. Now it's only 4 for 5, but that to me shows that he's at least confident enough to shoot it and make it. Another player on here, that's Theo Roca. He's 5 for 17. Now that's only 29%, but that shows that he's still confident enough that if he gets the wide open shot, that he still can he's going to take it and has confidence that he can at least make it as well.
Well, I would imagine Coach Sales has figured all that out, and I know that we'll talk about it throughout the game. They've done a lot of scouting, and they know who to guard. Yeah.
So with that being said, that's a quick look there at Wash U. Stay tuned. We'll come right back here in a couple minutes, and we'll take a gander at Rose-Hulman.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back here to Holbert Arena in Terre Haute at Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. We're going to take a quick look, dive a little bit deeper into this Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers team. I know you guys have seen them a lot here on RHIT.TV. Who's somebody that sticks out to you today that you want to see take a leap?
Well, that's a really good question. I think that I've been impressed with Rose-Hulman for the first 6 games since they played a good schedule, number one. So the numbers don't lie when you play really good basketball teams. I think the way that Cole Pride has stepped his game up, big 6'9", stretch 5, guy can step out on the 3, because if you don't guard him, he's going to shoot, and we've seen that, and he can hit the outside shot. So I think he's going to be a big key tonight. Can they keep him out of foul trouble? That'll be the other key. Number 2, now Joey Schmitz didn't have the same kind of game that we have seen him have in previous games in their last contest against Bluffton. But I think Bluffton kind of took him out of it a little bit early. I think in order to win tonight, Schmitz has to have a really good game. And so if he can get he's averaging 17, but if he can get 20 plus, I think they'll have the ability to stay in the game. If I'm Washington, though, and I see the film against Bluffton, I'm going to try to do what they did. And again, take him out of his game. If he misses a couple of shots early, I hope he keeps shooting, because a lot of times shooters don't do that, and they should. Well, you shot a lot from 3. We heard about your exploits. There wasn't a shot you didn't like, I understand. But bottom line is he's got to keep shooting, because that'll free things up on the inside. Now, Daniel Savovich has done a nice job recently. He got up to a slow start in the shooting department, and he has come on of late. And that'll take some of the pressure off on the outside for guys like Schmitz. So if Schmitz can have a good game, I like their chances.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, Joey Schmitz shooting 50% behind the arc. I mean, you're exactly, and trying to get his game started early, they have to come out hot. You can't come out flat like you did maybe a little bit against Bluffton. Come out hot if Schmitz can get his hot hand started. And that's another thing is what I see a lot at this level is if somebody's got a hot hand, they stop feeding him.
Yeah.
If you have a hot hand, continue that, because that hot hand is going to continue not only in the first half, but once you get into the second half. I mean, if Schmitz has 12 by the end of the first half, bring that into the second half, who's say he doesn't end with 28 or something like that. Another player that you mentioned, Cole Pride, yes, exactly right. You got to stay out of foul trouble. We saw him get some little silly, sloppy fouls there against Bluffton, and in that Bluffton game, we did see Daniel Savovich step up. Massive step up from some previous games. They took Schmitz out of the lineup pretty much, I mean, at all. I think Schmitz ended with, 10 points, 8 points, something like that, not a lot. But that means Savovich had to step up, and stepping up is what kept them in that game. Now, granted, they maybe not got the result that they wanted as far as stats go-wise from Schmitz, but nonetheless, Savovich stepping up, doing what he needed to do to help his team win. I think that's exactly right. So,
well, one thing I'm going to add to that is if Cole Pride can stay out of foul trouble, give them a lot of minutes, that takes some pressure off of McElhaney too. McElhaney's only a freshman, and this is going to be a little different animal tonight, playing a number 4 team in the country, and you don't want to keep that kind of pressure on him. Cole Pride has been here before. He has seen a lot of good teams, so I'd love to have him get more minutes, and McElhaney maybe fill in a little bit of a different role this time.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think seeing Cole Pride take the dominancy that he has. I mean, look at him down there. You say 6'8", 6'9", whatever he is, and he's not just a beanpole down there. He's got some muscle on him. And I know we've said a few times that he kind of looks like a WWE superstar, but you're exactly right. Coming out there, he's got the flashiness to him too, getting a little physical contact. I mean, we saw him before the Bluffton game, getting some reps there with Miles McGowan before. We saw, how good McGowan was from last year and his previous years here, and just taking Pride under his wing, I think is exactly what the Fighting Engineers need. So we'll come right back after the national anthem, and when starting lineups come out, we'll be right back.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity. And that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your students to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
575 of them from 40 states and 19 countries, with a record-breaking number of applications. Did you forget about Rose's outstanding class of 2023 and how 99% of the graduates have landed a position in their dream fields, graduate school, or the military?
The renovations to Munch Hall are finally complete, so I'm sure he'll have plenty to eat at the updated Munch Cafe by the new Living Mall.
We just broke ground on a new residence hall that will be ready for fall 2025.
We celebrated a record-breaking homecoming with more than 2,000 alumni, students, and friends commemorating the 100th anniversary of the bonfire with our first ever drone show. We also welcomed 267 employers for our fall career fair. And perhaps the greatest gift of all, the Wall Street Journal named us to one of the top 20 best colleges in America, and U.S. News & World Report named us the #1 undergraduate engineering college. You can be a little old for a lot of things, but you're never too old or too far away for Rose-Hulman. 2023 was a year of adventurous journeys, of coming together, of growth. No matter how far away you roam this holiday season, you will never be truly alone as long as Rose is your home.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Guard, a 6'6" senior, number 32, Will Brzezinski. At center, a 6'8" senior, number 24, Kevin Brawl. And now, fans, let's meet the starters for your Flight Engineers. At guard, 5'9" senior, Jeffersonville, Indiana, number 2, Luis Niedermeyer. At guard, a 6'1" junior from Everett, Washington, number 10, Daniel Savage. At guard, a 6'6" junior from Louisville, Georgia, number 11, Christian Coleman. At guard, a 6'2" sophomore from Parkersville, Indiana, number 15, Joey Schmidt. And at forward, a 6'9" junior from Osgood, Indiana, number 23, Cole Brown.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just saw your starting lineup there for both the Fighting Engineers of Rose-Hulman and the Bears of Wash U. Looking at this tip-off, gotta see Cole Pride gonna go match up against number 32 there, Will Brzezinski. I believe is who's gonna jump that, or Calvin Caprell. It does look like they're going to shake some hands here. I'm excited, Troy. I'm not going to lie to you. Getting behind the microphone again here, getting a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I'm not going to lie. I feel great. I'm excited. Got a little bit of anxiety, not going to lie, but I think it's great.
Well, just think, in 25 years, you'll look back and go, hey, you remember that game over in Rose-Hulman at Hulbert Arena? You had that great color analyst at that time. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I'm not going to lie. It's right. We're right here. So the Bears are going to get the ball here to start off. Some nice ball movement here, and a shot taken, driving down the lane. That's an easy. Connor May already averaging 18.1 points per game. We're going to see what he's going to give the Fighting Engineers tonight. Studemeyer finds Schmitz. It's going to be a high post screen set here by Pride. The roll. Savovich finds Pride down low. Squaring up. Attacking the Bears down low. Off the backboard, no good. The rebound's headed to Connor May.
One thing you're going to notice already with Washington is the size. Nobody smaller than 6'3" on the floor right now.
Three-point shot attempt is good from Connor May, already up to 5 points here in this contest.
You know, he talked about it again. You got to get out and guard those guys, make them drivers instead of shooters.
Exactly right, because we said the same thing looking for Rose-Hulman. If Pride finds it down low, and there's that three-pointer by him, showing that he can be a stretch five and shoot that three-pointer like you said.
Yeah, that's a key for them. Again, if he steps out, if you don't guard him, he's going to hit it, and Washington will have to make that adjustment.
Exactly right, because being a team that can shoot the ball, but also having those guys who are over 6 foot tall, being down low attacking, kick out for the three-pointer as a fadeaway is no good there by Caprell. Is going to open up the outside. If you get it inside the paint, you're going to open up the outside for your shooters, and exactly both teams are going to look to do that tonight.
Well, Cole Pride at the other end deserves a lot of credit for his defense and forcing the player to get deeper.
And Joey Schmitz right there showing exactly why he is 50% behind the arc, knocking down a wide open three. Nobody really within too far close to him. So here comes the Bears off the hands of Caprell. Shot three, no good. That air ball was shot by Brzezinski, and the Fighting Engineers are going to come up with it. Schmitz wide open three again. Bang, buries that thing, and he's 2 for 2 already.
That's a great start. We talked about it earlier. If he can get off to a good start, and he's done so, now continue it and keep that consistency throughout the first half.
I'm excited. I haven't seen Joey Schmitz in real life have a hot game. I haven't seen him play at all this year. And to see him already start off 2 for 2 as Savovich attacks and gets it. And Rose-Hulman goes up a quick 11-5 here And we're less than 3 minutes into this basketball game.
Yeah, not just 11-5, but an 11-0 run after the first 2 buckets scored by Washington. So a great answer here by Rose-Hulman.
Going to work down low in the paint. Shot fake is good on the second putback. That's Prisbilla.
Christian Torres has the guard down at the opposite end. Now he's a very lengthy player as they turn it over. But the one thing about it, you don't want a player the size and any player you see on Washington to get that low into the paint. Got to force him back outside.
Yeah, as we see McKinley check in there for Torres. Correct me if I'm wrong. He didn't play a whole lot of minutes there against Bluffton. Maybe not as much as he normally would.
Yeah, and again, I think just a standpoint, depending on who fouls and what the situation may be and what coach likes in a certain situation, probably more in effect than anything else.
Bears looking to set something up here, trying to get Connor May downhill. He's going to find it. Connor May with the basket down there on the block. Missed it, but he come up with his own offensive rebound. And the shot no good. Rebound Bears. 2 for $1 on this one, and that's good by Ryan Cohen.
Never want to give a team second and third opportunities, especially a good shooting team like Washington. Bottom line is they'll make you pay for it every time.
You're exactly right, Troy. Here's Studemeyer attacking the basket. Shot fake. He's stuck down low. Kick out Pride. Good ball movement here by the Fighting Engineers. Savovich deciding not to use the screen, and he's going to step out of bounds, and that's going to be a turnover there for the Fighting Engineers. We're going to head into our first media timeout, and we will be right back after this short break.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt,
insulting referees,
threatening officials,
berating young umpires, learning the ropes,
violent language in the stands,
screaming at a referee in the parking lot. It's not a game.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
That first media timeout is brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer serving farmers, homeowners, landscapers, and commercial contractors throughout Indiana. Nothing runs like a deer. Give us a call today at 317-849-0810. Welcome on back here to Holbert Arena. Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, the Fighting Engineers taking on the number 4 Wash U. We've seen some great things already here in this first just under 4.5 minutes. Joey Schmitz 2 for 2 behind the line. Love to see that. Went on an 11-0 run there. You know, going before we go into that media timeout, they were down on an 0-5 run. Honestly, if you're the Fighting Engineers, you don't hate that media timeouts. Stop the run.
Yeah, and sometimes you get those timeouts at the wrong time. You don't want them, and it breaks your momentum as well. But let's see what adjustments are made both ways, especially defensively for Washington after they get that timeout, because they gave up a couple of open shots, and they're a really good defensive team.
That's right. We saw a little bit of substitutions here on the side of Rose-Hulman. Just off the dome, I see Evan Gentlestecken stuck in there. And that's going to be a Wash U turnover. It's going to be Rose-Hulman basketball. Evan Gentile in there.
Well, that was a good defensive stand that time for Rose-Hulman. You know, we've watched them play 3 or 4 times already this year, and defensively they are better than they were a year ago. And again, what they're able to bring off the bench is also a big key. Nice
Back door there. We love to see that by the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. Jack Murphy, that back door, and then that little dish by Gentile. And Rose-Hulman gets a quick bucket there, 13-10. Good ball movement here by the Bears. Three-pointer is good that's number 11, Ryan Cohen. He's got 2 now.
Yeah, you're going to have Gentili's going to have to get out of him a little bit quicker. First off, he's bigger than Gentili, so if you're going to go up against a guy bigger, you got to get out there a lot faster and get a challenge on that shot.
There's a high screen set there by Will McElhaney, and I would have liked him to see roll off that he popped or kind of like faded away. If he would have rolled, he had a wide open left-handed layup if he would have rolled instead of popped. And an acrobatic finish there by Leighton Thomas Johnson.
Well, they've got guys, I mentioned it before, they're very deep. When you talk about 12 different players at 10-plus minutes, they can bring guys off the bench much like what Rose-Hulman can do, and we've seen that already.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of a battle of who's got the deeper bench, because we know they're starting 5. They can go head-to-head with just about the best of any of them. But we'll see what both benches have to offer, as there's going to be a foul there. It's going to be a foul on Thomas Johnson. That's his first. That's the first WashU foul.
Yeah. Well, one thing I liked about McElhaney, again, he'll bring you instant offense off the bench. We already saw the ability of what Jack Murphy can do when they get those cuts to the basket, and that's what is different this year and even really the last couple of years for Rose-Hulman. They can take guys off the floor, they're starters. They'll bring guys in, though they're young, they're able to give you success in minutes. And I love that when you can do that, because you feel confident that you can bring them in and they're going to be productive off your bench.
I mean, we were talking about young guys getting action. I mean, Joey Smith is already your number 1 guy. He's a sophomore.
Right.
Averaging, going 50% behind the arc, averaging 17.2 points as a sophomore. Imagine what he's going to do there in his senior year.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, he can still do a lot this year, and I think that's what they're counting on. And one thing interesting about Washington, how is their size. They still can bring in, you just see Jake Davis come in. He's a 6'8 guy. They've got 3 guys that are 6'8. If they want to go really big, they can do that, and we might see a lot of that here the rest of the way, as that's Davis getting the rebound.
Yeah, we just saw 1 or 2 offensive rebounds there and not able to capitalize off of that, as a good transition basket there by McElhaney. And Rose-Hulman, if they can keep capitalizing off of the misses down here and get the first rebound, get it in transition, finish at the basket, turn and go back on defense, that's what they're looking to do. Floater, no good, gets his own rebound. The Bears going to move the basketball around. Roca. There's a rare moment on the floor right now. We don't see Connor May on the floor for WashU. A deep 3, no good. Rebound goes to Gentili. Gentili looking to attack, stops, finds Savovich. This is also a rare moment where Joey Schmitz is not on the floor. Fighting Engineers getting some great ball movement here. The give and go. Gentili looking to attack. Finishes, does not get the finish. Looked to go the left hand on the right side. And something that I believe that you and I have talked about before is we don't see the left-handed finish on the left side of the basket.
Well, a lot of times I think that comes how you read that player. And if you decide if you're driving with the left hand, sometimes you bring your body over and you can protect that ball a little bit more. Players are much more adept to doing that than maybe they were when I played, because it's always about fundamentals, left hand, right foot, left foot, right hand. So you kind of just have to adjust on what that defender is going to do to you. I know that not this past play, but the play before that, that defense for Rose-Hulman was as good as you're going to get, because they were locked down and really forced Washington into a shot they didn't care for. Despite even giving up a rebound, they never gave up playing defense. I'll be surprised the way these two teams are playing as hard as they are. If we get into the maybe late 60s, it'll be a surprise to me.
Yeah, I agree. Forcing Leighton Thomas Johnson into that deep 3, I mean, in my language as a 23-year-old, we call that Steph Curry land.
Right.
I mean, that's definitely not a shot at D3 level you're not looking to get. And great defense there on the side of the Fighting Engineers. So the Bears looking to find something here, a little give and go, and they're going to call is it an offensive foul, moving screen, I believe is what they're going to call it.
Yeah, they got him a moving screen on that, but we also got a timeout at the same time.
Yeah, I almost thought that was going to be a travel call, I'm not going to lie.
Could have gone either way.
And so I believe that's going to be another media timeout. We're going to take a quick break right after this.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back here, as our good friend Tony would say, to Paradise. Here in Terre Haute, Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers, Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, currently tied 17s apiece here against the number 4 WashU Bears.
Well, and it's kind of the game we expected in a lot of ways early. I really like the way both teams play defense. Both teams have rebounded very well. We haven't had very many unchallenged shots here in the first half, and again, Rose-Hulman has played a good early schedule, and I think it's prepared them very well for tonight's matchup.
It's going to be a quick foul here, back from that media timeout. Something that I love to see here. Cole Pride and Joey Schmitz both back on the floor here for the Fighting Engineers. That's going to be a foul on number 33. I believe that's George Gale. It's his second, team third there for the Bears. Pride at that high post, hand off to Savovich. Savovich pull-up jump shot, no good. Rebound goes to Josh Kim.
I about fell out of my chair because there was a mid-range jumper right there.
That is true. I call the mid-range shot the lost art.
It is.
It's lost. People rely too much on layups, dunks, or three-pointers.
Yeah.
Bears trying to attack. Got 9, 8, 7 on the shot clock. The spin-away jump shot. Now, was that prime Dirk Nowitzki? I'm just saying.
Well, when you're 6'6", and we know what Connor May can do offensively, and you're guarded by Savovich, who only is at 6'1", it's pretty easy to shoot over a guy that has 5 inches less than you have. So that's something they'll have to work on. It's quite a mismatch.
That's true. I like that pass there from Schmitz. Cross court, three-point setup jump shot, just long there. That was shot by Nate Smith, and it's going to be Bears ball headed the other way.
Well, you get an open shot like that, you got to bury it because you're not going to get very many. Such a tall team with Washington as well.
Nice poke away there, and still in transition. Easy layup there. Nate Smith, he wanted that one back. He had the wide open jump shot here in the corner, missed it, and he said, I got to get that bucket back.
And it's just a careless pass. We talk about turnovers so many times in games, and you just got to take care of the basketball when you play really good teams.
Oh my goodness, what a fadeaway jump shot there. Connor May proving that he can score in just about any fashion that he wants right there.
Well, they may have to find a way to get a switch off Savovich and get somebody a little bit taller on May, because May's going to do that about every time.
Spin move kick out by Schmitz. Pride down there going to work, or at least trying to. Right hand jump shot. I thought it kind of got tipped there. I don't know if that was a foul.
Yeah, I think he got him on the arm. Generally, on a shot like that as an official, you kind of watch and see the project where that ball is going to come off the hand. And if it comes up that short, generally it's going to be a foul. They get hit on the arm.
Cole Pride at the line is going to be shooting 2. He hits the first. If you are the Fighting Engineers here, you're looking at that scoreboard right now and looking at the fouls. He's got 3 already. That's George Gale. And if you can get a guy who's 6'6" off the floor, especially here early.
Yeah, but they'll replace him with somebody else 6'6" or taller.
That's true.
They have what, 2 players that are 6'1" and 6 foot. Everybody else, actually 3, a 6'1" guy, Jonathan Coffey. Everybody else is 6'3" or taller. A Division III team with that many players that big is almost unheard of.
Exactly right, and I think that just proves and gives them a reason why they are ranked 4th here in the nation at the D3 level. Kim out there looking for a pick and roll, didn't find it. Down low, there's going to be a foul. Not in the shooting motion. That's going to be a foul on, I believe, that is on McElhaney, I believe.
Well, actually, I think they got Murphy, and the one thing
did,
about
right.
that is you can't let the big for Washington throw the ball out and then come up and post you down inside that circle. You got to push him out beyond the circle and make it a tougher shot. And there's another example right there. Don't let him get the ball that deep.
That's exactly right. I saw 30, and I thought it was a 3, but it turns out to be a 4. You're right. That is Murphy down there picking up the foul. And Smith has got a wide open jump shot there and just missed it. Got to slow down a little bit there. I think he kind of got scared, didn't realize that he was open. It was like, I got to shoot it.
Well, and it didn't help that he bobbled the basketball because it took him a little bit out of his natural shooting ability because he had to bend down and get it. The ball got away from him, and I don't think his feet were completely set.
May ends up getting stripped by Schmitz, picked up by Savovich. Studemeyer gonna pull it out. Going to work down there is Murphy, and you know Murphy just had a foul down there, and that's something that I'm a big person of. If you foul, come down, have a turnover, you know, you gotta. At that point, if I'm the coach, you gotta maybe pull him out. You know, stupid. If you have a foul that maybe is not the smartest foul, then you have a turnover, pull him out, give him a 30-second minute break, put him back in, then do something like that.
Well, he just picked up another foul.
Exactly. So Murphy got 2 fouls in less than 30 seconds probably came off the clock there.
Well, he kind of felt, he's telling the official, I thought it was straight up, which is fine. But a lot of times a player thinks they're straight up and all of a sudden the hands come down. And I think that's what happened to Murphy right there. But he did play well at the other end. He had the guy in his hip, and he knew the other player was coming to double him down. And he did a great job not letting that outside guy bother him and just focused on getting the basket. So for a young guy like Murphy, well, he is a senior, but from a young standpoint, minutes-wise, he's getting more this year, but he didn't really get that many the last couple of years. I thought he did a great job.
Well, and something that I believe this game, the game of basketball has kind of adapted to is too busy trying to focus on the foul. Too busy trying to draw the foul, too busy trying to actually get the foul and not actually hit the basket.
Yeah.
Make the basket, then worry about the foul.
Well, in that case right there, Torres, great athlete underneath. You know, he's not as strong as he's going to have to be eventually against teams like Washington, but I thought he did a great job positioning down low.
Yeah, and Torres a little upset there that he didn't get a better look as he kind of hit underneath the basket, but we're here at a media timeout, so we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt.
Insulting referees.
Threatening officials.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes.
Violent language in the stands.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot. It's not a game.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome on back here. We're at Rose-Hulman. And that media timeout was brought to you by Beatty Insurance, a company which understands your industry and what's on the line for you. Call Lance at 812-522-5640. We got just under 8 minutes left to play here. Still a close game. Wash U 25, Rose-Hulman 23, and Torres is going to be at the line here shooting 2. We saw him right before the media timeout try to go up for a a layup there on the block and kind of got blocked by the backboard there, and he saw a little bit of emotion from him, frustrated that he didn't get a better look. Nonetheless, though, at least he goes to the line shooting 2.
Well, you know what, and again, you're playing a team that's so much bigger. You got guys that are, 6'8", 6'8", 6'6", and such, and he's about 6'6". But the thing is, he doesn't have the strength they have, but he also didn't shy away from it either, which is something you like to see. He's got great athleticism, those long arms, and once he gets in the weight room a little bit more, it's going to really help him.
Yes, you're exactly right there. And just an easy put in over the rim dunk there for Caproll. And I mean, when you're 6'8", it should be that easy, right?
6'8", 225, and he did a great job. Just that little, wasn't exactly a slip screen, but it was close. And once you make that roll, he was wide open.
Schmitz for 3. I love that. Pride come out, set that high screen, and instead of, fully attacking it, Schmitz kind of used it, but a little slower than what you normally would, and just a little step back 3. I liked it a lot.
Well, nobody does a better slip screen than Cole Pride. We saw him do it several times the other night, and on the other end, well, you got to get out and play some defense. These big guys can put the ball on the floor and take it to the basket, and you got to stop that penetration, which we just saw a little bit ago, and you got the foul on Torres. And the thing is, athletically, he's better than what you're going to see on most other teams. He's got to get down and really keep those guys in front of him, force them back the other way.
Will Grudzinski here at the line. He goes 2 for 2. Grudzinski, a 6'6" senior there from Barrington, Illinois. Savovich looking down low at Pride. Kim's going to get a hand on it, though. It's still going to be Rose Holman basketball. 20 seconds here on the shot clock.
Rose wants to get it inside to Pride, and the one thing about it is if you can't get a couple of feet in closer to make that kind of pass you're looking for, it's going to be awful hard to pass it out here at the John Muncher Court signature. You got to get in a little bit closer to feed Pride where he needs it.
Especially if he has that guy sealed.
Yeah.
They say come to the basketball, but if you have a guy sealed, you're not going to want to come out to the basketball that much. As Savovich just buries his first 3 of the game.
Yeah, great job. Loose ball, able to pick it up, wide open shot at the top of the key. Anytime you're wide open, got to make those shots.
As the Bears just barely retain possession there. Josh Kim attacking Studemeyer there, and that was close.
It was close.
That was close.
Well, as we say always, it's a game of angles, and it sometimes kind of depends on what angle you're at as an official.
But looking at the replay here, I think Kim does. He goes to go back to touch it, to hang on to it, and he just barely brings himself back at not touching the basketball.
Well, that's why you played some at home and some on the road, too.
That's true as well. I believe we're still at a 30-second timeout here. I see all players standing. And this timeout brought to you by Boilermaker Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374 represents highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction and metal fabrication across Indiana. Whether it's a new build, upgrade, or facility maintenance, you can count on Local 374 to get the job done right the first time. Rose Holman now leading 31-29 as we saw a nice three-pointer hit by Savovich. Rose Holman doing well in the free throw category as well. We saw Torres knock down both, go 2 for 2 the last time he was at the line. And the challenge is successful. Rose Holman is going to get the ball here.
So did they see the video that we had? Is that how they got the replay, or how did they do that? They had to have done that. Unless they have another camera someplace that showed that, but they did overturn it, and it will be Rose Holman ball.
Well, and to that I commend our cameramen. Nice job to them, if that's the case. As Schmitz uses the screen set by Torres. Cross-court pass, but that's going to be tipped away by May. Picked up by the Bears. In transition, 3 is good. And that was Grudzinski burying a three-pointer there, putting WashU up 1.
Yeah, points off turnover. dangerous skip pass. You're going to try to get it to Pride here at this elbow. Unfortunately, too many long arms inside.
Cole Pride with confidence.
Yep.
With confidence. That Cole Pride, I think he loves this right wing right here. I've seen him hit 3 now from this right wing in the last 2 games. And I would call him, that's his little sweet spot there.
Yeah, players love favorite spots on the floor, and right now that's his. And now you're fortunate here, another moving screen. Now here's what causes that. You got the big standing there in position, and the guard goes way outside instead of coming off that hip. I see that so much in basketball anymore that they'll hand it off, watch this, way outside, instead of just going. The guy will stay if you will go off his hip. Even if they switch, that's okay. As the screener, then you just roll to the basket. But unfortunately, they don't do that enough.
I was always told in basketball that you want to get so close, you're about rubbing shoulders with them. And when we're in practice, we are told to hit the shoulder, like rub off of it, make the contact. And if we didn't, nice spin move there by Joey Schmitz. And that was textbook spin move right there.
Well, it also gives you an idea that Schmitz can go to the inside, not just a shooter from three-point range.
That's right. We see a lot of players often in today's game kind of one-dimensional.
Yeah.
You're either a shooter, you're an attacker, and a slam there for the Bears there by Anthony Prezilla. We saw Cole Pride go up to try to contest that, and Prezilla able to just bury it home there.
Well, Pride was probably lucky, though, he didn't pick up a foul and make it a three-point play because there was a lot of contact.
Exactly right. I kind of thought that there would be a foul. You're right. And are they going to call that in the shooting motion?
Oh, yeah.
As that's going to be a foul on number 10, Daniel Savovich. And the opposing 10, Yogi Olaf, at the line, going to be shooting 2.
No, Olaf smart, like most players are that get fouled like that. You make it look like you're shooting, whether you were or not, and you're always going to get to the free throw line. But again, that came off a turnover, too, at this end of the floor. You got to take care of the basketball no matter what. You know, I'm a big proponent of taking care of the ball. We've seen too many times where outside of hustle plays, both men and women, boys and girls, they turn the ball over way too much, and it's got to be treated like gold.
That's exactly right. I've seen a lot of, even specifically HCAC basketball. I've been able to watch a lot of HCAC basketball. There's down here at Rose-Hulman or up in Anderson, and it's been a problem on both teams, not just one team. Or it's the conference as a whole, where not taking care of the basketball, even if it's something as simple as in transition. If you get a defensive rebound here and you're headed the other way, a lot of time we'll do the quick poke, and it'll poke it back. We saw Daniel Savovich capitalize off of it on that 3 that last play that he shot. As the Bears get an easy layup there.
Yeah, that was a great job by Thomas Johnson, able to protect the pass that came up to him on the left side and able to lay it in. Just a nice move.
Kick out, three-pointer, no good. McElhaney there had the confidence to shoot it. Wasn't that far off. Good look as that just went out of bounds. It's going to be Bears ball here as we come back here from this quick break here at this media timeout. Stay tuned.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
That's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Manny made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. Holbert Arena here in Terre Haute. That media timeout was brought to you by Piper Logistics. For more than 2 decades, the seasoned professionals at Piper Logistics have been trusted partners for inventory management, warehousing, fulfillment, and transportation. Ride with us. Call today at 317-396-1023. As we are back here, it's Wash U basketball. Looking down low. Going to work there. That's Gale. Or pardon me, that is Prisbilla. And Prisbilla gets fouled. Going to go to the line shooting 2.
You know, that's just strength right there. Prisbilla at 6'6", 200. McElhaney at 6'5", 210. And it just came down, I think. Of course, you don't see many air balls at the free throw line, but I think it just came down to physical strength. We talked about it a lot tonight. You got to make sure that player on offense doesn't get the ball in deep. So, in other words, you got to push him out of there. You're generally not going to get a foul if you do anything egregious, yes. But get your body on him and don't let him have his place down there in the low block.
Yeah, in my day and age, my lingo for that is weight room.
Yeah.
Get in the weight room. So, we're headed back the other way. Rose-Hulman basketball, 38-36. Cole Pride, top of the key. He's got confidence. Oh, my goodness. Shooter's touch not quite there for Cole Pride, as that's still a very good look.
Yeah, great look. And I would have the confidence in him shooting that all day long.
I would agree with that. Bears looking down low. We see the mismatch down there as it's number 15, Jake Davis, matched up with Savovich on the low corner there. Attacking, trying to get a Euro step there, and Cole Pride keeps that massive bare paw of a hand on the ball, and he gets called a jump ball, and that's Rose-Hulman basketball.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I thought maybe for a moment they were going to get Thomas Johnson on a travel because he did that little shuffle with his feet. Either way, I believe they're going to give up the basketball. But again, that's good defense on the other side by Cole Pride.
Joey Schmitz, pull-up jump shot, no good. Rebound goes to Davis. Something that I have noticed a lot with Wash U is they might be a little bit slower to bring it up, but they capitalize on that because their passes are so long. They make up with the slow, they bring it up slow, but it's still pretty quickly because they cover so much ground with the pass.
Well, they're not going to run a whole lot, I don't think, because they have so many bigs on the floor at one time. You know, sometimes maybe even 3 guys that are 6'6" or 6'8". So running the floor, it'll be there if they get an opportunity to do it, but they're not going to force it because they're so confident in their half-court game, and you're averaging 85 points per game, and so they know they're going to get a lot of points in the half court.
Anthony Prisbilla at the line shooting 1-1, sinks the first.
And I think this is big too here for Rose-Hulman. They've missed a couple of shots at the other end. The Cole Pride one that went in and out, Schmitz fires one, that one barely missed. So some of their shots aren't falling right now, so don't let this thing get away here toward the end of the first half.
You're exactly right here. Basketball is all about a game of runs. I want to see who exactly has the longer and more successful run. Savovich finds Pride. Studemeyer back to Pride. I think Pride wanted the contact there. Turnaround, that looked good. That was nice.
Another part of the repertoire there for Pride is coming back with the left hand. You don't see that very often.
And if I was a betting man, I mean, we are here in Terre Haute.
Yes.
We know about the casino.
Oh, yeah.
I would guess that Miles McGowan had a part in teaching him that and giving him a little bit of, I mean, I saw him do that all last year.
Yeah.
All last year we saw McGowan, left hand hook, right hand, looking like prime Kareem out there.
Yeah.
And so trying to teach that as he's now an assistant coach here for Rose-Hulman, trying to teach his fellow fighting engineers a little bit of his game.
Well, and why not? If again, McGowan had the success he had, pass it along to the next guy. And if that adds to Cole Pride's arsenal, think about that. How are you going to scout him all the time? Because if he can go right, he can go left, he can shoot the three. It just makes it really, really difficult. And teams in the HCAC need to take notice.
I think that's exactly right, proving that you're not just one-dimensional.
Yeah.
I think that's so valuable in today's game that you can be 6'9", use not just your right hand, but also your left hand. And if you're going to take away both of that, I'm going to shoot the three in your face and I'm going to hit it.
Yep.
Savovich, he's got some space. Pride sagging out there, just kind of ISO basketball there. Savovich down towards the basket. Bears come up with the rebound.
I think Savovich took that ball outside his body a little bit much instead of really taking it strong and not worrying about the contact.
Nice pick and roll there, and missed was Davis. And the Fighting Engineers 2-on-1 here. Schmitz goes up strong and finishes it there in the layup. We got 44-40, 30 seconds left.
Yeah, Schmitz, great job. Tell you what, you had a 2-on-1 break. The defender either had to make a decision to come guard or he's going to go off on the off man, and Schmitz read him well and able to take it really strong to the basket.
I was almost kind of expecting him to go up and then drop a little bounce pass and hit his teammate there, but finishing at the basket's never a bad thing. 4, and missed shot, offense rebound right before the buzzer. No good on a little bit of a rust shot there by Ryan Cohen. We know that he can shoot the three-pointer and he's comfortable with shooting that. Or was that? That was number 10, wasn't it, actually? I don't know. As we see another look at that contact layup there in transition from Joey Schmitz. We will take a little bit of a break here at halftime. 44, Wash U. Rose Holman 40. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity. And that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Finding the right answer and trying again, that's really what dragged me to aerospace. I saw other people making amazing stuff on 3D printers, and I thought if I combined that art of 3D printing with engineering, I could make something as complex as an airplane. It all changed when I came to Rose Holman. I feel amazing that I have still 3 years to do something much more complex.
Hello and welcome to Game Day. My name is Keith Myers. I'm the Vice President of IndianaSRN. We're glad that you joined us today. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN, which means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline.
It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is halftime here at Rose-Hulman here in Terre Haute. That first half was brought to you in part by Dynamax Graphics Group. Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years, Dynamark builds strong relationships through exceptional service. Call us today at 317-328-2555. What a great first half we've had so far here at Hulbert Arena.
Nothing has separated them in any category statistically yet. Nothing has separated them that much in the scoreboard. And I'm assuming you'll run down some of the numbers here in a couple of moments, but it has been as even of a game that we've had this season for Rose-Hulman, and they're playing the number 4 team in the country. They're outsized. We know that already, but their ability to step outside. Joey Schmitz has had a good first half from three-point range. In fact, they've shot well as a team from three-point range. Cole Pride has been everything we thought he would be tonight. So you've had your 2 best players statistically step up tonight, as you would expect. Now on the other side, they're going to have to defend better, because the numbers are showing us that Washington, when you're shooting nearly 58% overall and 50% from three-point range, you got to find a way to get those numbers down, because if it's going to be a close game in the second half, that could hurt you. And so how did they defend better? One is, as I said earlier, don't let Washington receive that ball deep in the paint. Force them out. Even if it's another 2 feet, could make a difference. The other thing is, don't allow your turnovers to lead to their points. So somehow, if you turn the ball over, they can't come down and score. Now, it hasn't been that much of a bad thing yet. But when you talk about turnovers, Rose-Hulman has 10. That number needs to go down. You're playing the number 4 team in the country. Get that down to about 6 in the second half. Make it 16 for the game, and I think it'll make you a better basketball team in the second half. Bench points, no big difference, but usually we see Rose-Hulman come up with more bench points than their opponent, but right now it's only a 1-point difference. And the other key is, look at the paint points. 16 by Rose-Hulman, but 18 by Washington. And generally what we've seen this year in that category as well, that Rose-Hulman dominates down in the paint. They'll have to find a way to turn that category around as well.
Yeah, I think a big factor of that being in the paint is Cole Pride is forced to come out of the paint.
Yeah.
He's had to come out of the paint, and I know that Cole usually finds a lot of his success in the paint. I mean, he can come out and shoot the 3 if he needs to. That's not what he's going to primarily look for. In this game, we've seen Pride go 2 for 3 behind the arc. He has 5 total shots on the whole game. So over half of his game today is from behind the arc. And so being able to not have a whole lot of inside presence is why I believe that we have the paint differential there that we have compared to usual.
And if that's going to be the case, and you're going to set Cole Pride out on the perimeter more, then that means Jack Murphy and McElhaney are going to have to do a better job inside. You don't need all 3 of those guys shooting threes. I'll take Cole Pride because he's proven he can do it. So then give me the 2 other bigs down low, give them the job of rebounding, getting second chance points, cleaning up the basket down low. So then we have a better inside-outside game with those 2 guys underneath the basket.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you want to have Cole Pride shooting a 3, then you need somebody else going towards the basket so we can have a little bit of balance there. As we saw a nice spin move there, as you guys are looking at right now from Leighton Thomas Johnson. That's the biggest differentials that I see is WashU is really taking advantage of what Rose-Hulman is giving them, which is inside the paint, like you said, touches down low, And whenever they don't, when Cole Pride is down there playing defense, they're able to kick it out, shoot the three if they need to. But I see a lot of inside the paint points scored by WashU, and on the side of Rose-Hulman, they're getting a lot of their points by shooting threes, is what I feel. I mean, you have we have 6 for 12 behind the arc. Rose-Hulman shooting 6 for 12 behind the arc, which is 50%. WashU is shooting 4 from 8 behind the arc. Now that is only 2 shots made differential, but it is more points, like percentage-wise.
Well, here's what is a concern if I'm Rose-Hulman, and we're going to talk about numbers here. As a team coming into this one tonight, they were holding their opponents to 45% shooting. Tonight, Washington is shooting 58%. That's a big difference right there. So somehow, and again, you as a team yourself, you're shooting 52%. You're going to win a lot of basketball games if you're shooting 52%. I'll take that every night of the week. But if you're giving it 58%, that's probably going to be a marker right there. They're going to have to clamp down better defensively in the second half.
All right, we'll come back with a little bit more statistics here from Troy and I. We'll take a little bit of a break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
A lot of times when you come to Rose, students will say the work is hard. And it is. There's rumors about the difficulties of Rose-Hulman. I would say they're on par for the most part. But 9 times out of 10, at the end, the student's going to end with that statement, but it's worth it, or I really enjoy it. And I think that's really the key part. Like, if you really like doing something, it's going to be a lot of work.
So the commonality is just the love for science and math. Mathematics is really the basis of all science and engineering. It's the language that we use.
We need to make sure that they have that backbone in order to succeed as future scientists and engineers.
We collaborate as faculty, and they see how one class starts to impact another class.
Math, science, technology, how intertwined they are.
Our students are very driven in everything that they're doing.
Is that opportunity to be pushed, because we do push the student to see what it is that you're actually capable of. We're not just saying, here, go do this hard project. We are right there with them. I think that matters.
Our job is to create a safe place to fail. That would be terrifying if you did that alone.
That results in students that are ready to walk out of the door and into their place of work, ready to be a productive contributor.
So our professors all know us by name.
It was refreshing to know that I would have a relationship with my professors.
And I think that's key.
Because of the very low class size here, it gives me, the instructor, an opportunity to actually be engaged with the student.
We know who's struggling, we know who's doing well, we know who's getting it.
Basically, everybody knows everybody here.
The faculty are there for you. All of our students are advised 100% by faculty.
Your professors already know you. Even if you haven't met them, chances are your professors have talked about you to other professors.
And we do all of our classes in 10 weeks.
Very fast-paced.
So as difficult as the courses might be, as rigorous
and difficult
as it might feel for those 10 weeks, you know that everyone here has your back.
I think the big thing that I want people to always know when I talk about Rose-Hulman is we, the faculty, are here at Rose-Hulman because we love teaching. That is the reason we are here, and I think that sets us apart from all other institutions.
That quick break brought to you by Risk Work. We make people feel safe. Protect your business. You live safe. We've got it covered. Call Risk Work today at 317-379-6755, as well as Lyona. We're the Build America Union, 500,000 strong, fighting for better wages and benefits, safer job sites, and greater opportunities. We are Lyona. 44-40, WashU currently leading the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers here in Terre Haute. We were talking a little bit before that break just about what some differences we wanted or what we saw, and now I think just We're going to keep talking a little bit about that, and something that I talked to you about over the break, Troy, was where are these shots coming from on the floor? I got the shot chart pulled up right here, and if we're looking at it, on the side of Wash U, they've taken 27 total shots here, 8 of them being outside the arc, and I'm literally seeing only 3 other shots that are not on the block.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, that tells me that they're using their height advantage the way that they should be. When you have multiple players over 6'6" and you only have 2 people under 6'2", that is definitely where you need to capitalize, is on the block, inside the paint. On the side of Rose-Hulman, though, we're seeing a little bit of this mid-range game kind of being brought up. We've seen Savovich as well as Schmitz shoot a little bit of this mid-range here a little bit. We have 3 or 4 shots here outside of the paint, but on the flip side of that, Rose-Hulman has shot 4 more three-pointers, made 2 more, so both still sitting at 50%, but definitely a little bit more shot outside of the three-point line.
Right, well, here is the difference that you see right now. And if fans, you can go to the Rose-Hulman website and you can check out the shot chart for yourself. If you're Washington, you'd have to be half brain dead not to have all those shots down there in the block. Size matters. On the other side, look at all the misses, though, in the mid-range here. You're talking about 5 out of 6 misses in the mid-range. So you're either going to get the layup or you're going to have to shoot the 3. So the difference is what is being done inside. I will be totally surprised in the second half if Washington doesn't say, you know what, we're going to keep attacking down low. We had success in the first half. They haven't been able to stop us. We're going to keep doing it until they stop you. Again, that's kind of the key when you look at sports. I keep doing it until you stop me, then I'll make the adjustments. So I will, again, I'll run home with one leg tonight if they stop doing it, okay? You might be heading down the interstate and you'll see me jumping home on one leg. There's no way Washington will go away from that game plan.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Don't fix it.
That's exactly right.
And you have all these guys that are as big as they are, especially in their starting lineup that you see coming out on the floor right now. Just keep doing what got you. Again, a 4-point lead on the road. You might be number 4 in the country, but you're playing a much better team in Rose-Hulman than they probably have played in a lot of their first 7 games.
All right, it's going to be Bears basketball here. It's coming out of the halftime as we see Connor May out there leading the way for the Bears in the point category. He's got 9 already. Tied with him is Prisbilla with 9, as a nice rebound and put back by Prisbilla, putting him up in the category of points at 11 now.
All right, where did he get the shot?
Down low.
Down low. Even though he missed the first one, he was able to get an offensive rebound because there was no positioning on the other side to get him out, and now you got an offensive foul the other way and a moving screen.
That's something you don't see a whole lot from Rose-Hulman is a moving screen or an offensive foul. I think in the 3 games that I've watched them play live and / or online, I think I've seen maybe 3 offensive fouls.
They don't run a lot of that high screen and roll. Generally, their offense works from side to side, and they'll drive down the lane, but you don't see that very often.
Cole Pride going to pick up a foul. That's one of our key targets we talked about before the game, as Cole Pride has got to stay out of foul trouble, and he's done a very successful job with that. That's only his first foul the whole game.
Yeah, and that's good news because, again, you want to keep him in the ball game. But I noticed on the last possession, I think their first thought was they were looking down inside to see if they could get the ball against Cole Pride. They would love nothing more than to get him out of the game because you're at 6'8", 6'9", and he's one of those guys that'll wreak havoc both offensively and defensively, but he can't do it if he's on the bench.
Calvin Caprell at the line. We saw him miss the first one, and I think you're right. Trying to get Cole Pride out of the game because at that point, who in the world is going to step up on your 6'8" guys? So Caprell missing his second one. Rose-Hulman coming up with the rebound. The handoff to Savovich from Pride. Savovich going to pull the ball out behind the three-point line. Lots of physical contact here. Schmitz kick out. Torres for 3, no good. Rebound goes to Prisbilla. Prisbilla attacking, kick out. May for 3. Oh my goodness, I thought it was just long. Shooter's touch almost got him there, and a nice aggressive rebound there by Torres.
Well, if Washington plays the game right, they want Torres to go ahead and shoot that three all night long, because that's not the shot that Rose-Hulman needs.
Exactly right. And players like, we've seen McElhaney also take a three-point shot too, and that's exactly what Wash is looking for. As a turnover there by Rose-Hulman, and there is Cole Pride's second foul in 1 minute and 46 seconds.
And the idea was attack, attack, attack. And if Cole Pride is going to be down there, he's generally going to try to get you a block shot or get in position to get a rebound, and it'll end up costing him, and they can't afford to put him on the bench for very long.
And that's going to be a full timeout here in Terre Haute. So we'll take a quick break with that one as well. We'll be right back here in Terre Haute.
IndianaSRN wants to put more kids on TV. And honestly, that's exactly what these kids deserve. They stream more than 350 high school and college games every year, giving Indiana athletes the spotlight they've earned. All games are free to watch with on-demand on their YouTube channel. The cost is amazingly affordable, which means more kids get their moment to shine. IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
That full timeout is brought to you in part by Officially Human. Our mission is to restore respect for game officials and recognize them as authorities on the field and the court. Do your part. Practice good sportsmanship. No officials. There's no game. 46-40. We were talking a little bit outside during the break. Rose-Hulman's got to stay in this. Cannot let this get out of hand. Not only are we talking about in the points category, but fouls too. We've seen, Cole Pride, your only guy pretty much that's over 6'8". I think there's 2 there.
Nonetheless, too, it's his experience. And as I said a little bit ago, he can damage you on both sides of the basketball. So Washington knows that, and the best way to get an advantage over your opponent is get one of the better players off the floor. And I think that's the kind of the idea. They're probably not going to get Schmitz out, but they can get Pride out because of his size.
Yes, because there's nobody that can compete with those guys that are 6'8". As Cole Pride buries his 3rd 3 of the night, and that is what the Fighting Engineers needed to stay in this one and get 3 of those points back.
Well, Washington's going to have to make up their mind if they go out and guard him, or they're going to have to just hang back and let him shoot it and hope he misses. But I think right now you better get out and guard him.
I think you're right. Being 6'9", you don't expect him to be able to shoot the basketball as well, but he's proven his game is well-rounded. And just attacking Daniel Savovich down low, that's a good basket there by Prisbilla.
Yeah, and it's a size advantage. We saw that in the first half. Savovich, it only goes at a maybe 6'1", and we got a foul here. But the thing is, and they read that. Good players read that. Coaches read that. And they know if they have a size mismatch, the best thing to do, attack down low, and that's exactly what they did.
On that play right there, we saw Savovich kind of curl a screen. I wish he would have shot that basketball. He had it in motion. It was in rhythm. That's not a shot that you're forcing. I know that he can shoot that shot. I know that he can make that shot. Curling off that screen right there, pull the trigger. Schmitz driving down low, shot fake, kick over to Torres. Torres puts that in the hole and kind of got Capel there a little lost. Didn't know exactly who had the basketball there.
Well, it wasn't even just the good pass. It was the good hands by Torres, because it was a short pass, and it came kind of quick. If his hands aren't up and ready to go, he takes Wilson on the forehead, and you don't get anything but a turnover. That was a great job by Torres.
Yeah, way to stay actively ready. A three-point shot, no good there. Rebound, Capel. May, jump shot, buried. Savovich, nothing he could do about that.
Well, as I mentioned, when you're as big as May is, and Savovich is undersized by about 5 inches, you're going to get a good look because Savovich cannot block your shot.
There's going to be a foul. I believe that's on number 32, Will Grudzinski. Jake Davis checking in here for Wash U. It's going to be Rose Holman out of bounds. Feeding Pride there, the handoff to Studemeyer. Back to Pride, and you're right. They've decided to pick him up outside on the three-point line. We see Davis come out to pick up Pride.
Well, they made a change. They went smaller because Davis can guard a little bit better on the perimeter.
Pride for 3, and I think that was maybe a little bit of heat check.
Well, he also knew the shot clock was winding down. He had his teammates yelling and counting it down, so he knew he had to get a shot off in time.
May for 3. Just off the front of the rim, hit the rim 3 times, goes out, rebound goes to Pride. Studemeyer looking to attack the paint.
I think that Washington's going to try to find a place for Connor May every time down the floor. He went one side, he came back to the other side. They're just trying to spot shoot him anywhere he can find an open place.
I think that's what you got to do to it, especially the quality of shooter that he is. We've seen him bury a couple, and he's shown that he's a lethal shooter, as that is a attacking by Prisbilla. The dynamic duo that they have with Prisbilla and Connor May, I could see them, I mean, there's a reason why they're ranked number 4.
And again, paint points. They're getting a lot of paint points, and somehow Rose is going to have to slow that thing down.
Fade away by Studemeyer, no good. Rebound goes to Grudzinski. Kick out, Grudzinski pull up 3, no good. Rebound goes to Schmitz, and they've got some numbers here. Savovich wants the ball, jump shot, just in and out. It's like there's a lid on the rim there for the Fighting Engineers. Can't seem to find anything to go in the basket. Jump shot, no good. And that's going to be a foul on the Bears. I believe that's going to be on number 11, Ryan Cohen. That is a foul on Cohen. And they're going to head to the benches, and so are we. 14:24 left. Wash U up by 9. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
So my goal is to get involved in space industry and learn about what lies beyond the Earth's horizon. I came across Rose Rocketry. I saw, hey, they're doing some really cool stuff. They're building rockets. Being at Rose, I was able to hone my engineering skills to push myself to get involved in the field further and learn about all these different opportunities. And I don't think I would have really gotten that at a bigger university.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt.
Insulting referees.
Threatening officials.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes.
Violent language in the stands.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot. It's not a game.
All right, welcome on back, ladies and gentlemen. That break was brought to you by Family Source Insurance. Pat Cherry is your independent agent, proudly representing Ohio Mutual Insurance. Call him today at 317-894-7000 for coverage tomorrow. We're going to see what adjustments the Fighting Engineers have made here coming in. Got 14 minutes left to play here. Schmitz looking to attack the paint. Schmitz pull-up jump shot. That's good for 3. Picking up the assist there, that's Nate Smith.
Great catch and shoot, though. He didn't delay at all. Sometimes shooters delay, and it ends up costing them.
Nice find there by the Bears, as underneath the basket, nobody near him is Jake Davis. And we talked out of the break as well. There was one time that Jake Davis was wide open, and they missed him, but that time they didn't miss him. Blocked. Gentili gets blocked, and I think that was Thomas Johnson, but there was 3 Bears there that could have gotten it. Thomas Johnson for good from 3, and this game is now back to 11. Schmitz trying to draw up something here for the Fighting Engineers. Kick out, looking down low. And I think the Fighting Engineers kind of got bailed out on that one. Could have been a bad turnover. Looking down low for McElhaney. And it's going to keep Fighting Engineers basketball. 20 seconds on the shot clock. That would be a foul on number 21, Connor May. Step out. Gentili for 3, just short. And Prisbilla there to just yank that rebound.
Well, right now, Washington, I think their game plan still get points in the paint as you see them trying to work down low again. But the thing is just take it one possession at a time and slowly get this lead further up in double digits.
Yeah, I got to take it one possession at a time, but Rose-Hulman needs to do the same thing. You're not going to conquer this 11-point lead in 3 or 4 possessions. Take it one possession at a time, get what you can get.
But when you look at it, it got bailed out on the foul on Connor May, otherwise that would have been a turnover. On the inbound, Gentili shoots that shot, which I don't think really was a bad shot, but I'm not sure that that's what they were looking for off the inbound. Maybe look for a 2 right there. I'm not quite convinced that would have been the one I would go with, especially when I'm down to double digits, try to get something, get it under 10 once again. So you got to be a little more selective on what you're going to shoot.
I like that curl, and they're going to call an offensive foul here.
Yeah, they got Murphy.
Engineers.
Yep, they got Murphy. Again, the ball handler goes wide. Bigs, even though they're very smart, sometimes they're going to move with the ball. And you see it right here. Watch him move, see? It happens every time. You got to get the guard to come off that shoulder.
Prisbilla attacking, and there it is. We see it again. Inside the paint. Yep. Where are their baskets coming from? And who's not on the floor right now? Cold Pride, not on the floor. They have McElhaney and they have Murphy in there. But if we're going to talk about who I want on the floor as far as defense inside the paint, I think it's Pride 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, you got to have your leader, and you got to have a guy at 6'9" out on the floor.
Gentili not able to get that one to go. In transition, wide open.
Need timeout.
Yep, need a timeout there, and that's exactly what is going to happen. I would almost take a look. That was a lot of steps there. 1, 2, all right, he kept it.
Well, it kind of depends on where he caught it, I guess. But nonetheless, a lot of times in basketball, and it looks like it was too, officials let him have a little extra step now and then. Now the key is here. You got to regain your composure a little bit. You've missed a couple of shots. Gentili missed that last shot. They hustled down the floor. They ran the floor, and they don't do it that often. We haven't seen Washington do it that often, but their bigs can also get out and run the floor as we saw a little bit ago. Now you got to get yourself back into this thing. You can't let this thing get out of hand because Washington is good enough to do so. The other key is, when do you bring Cole Pride in? I think you get him right back in there immediately. You cannot wait. Your second leading scorer on the team, one of your better rebounders, one of your better defenders. The other question I might throw in there too is, how aggressive do you want him to be? Because he's had to pull back a little bit because he got into foul trouble. And when you pull back and the other team attacks you, have a tendency not to maybe play as aggressive as you normally would. So they got a few things they got to work out here in the last 12 minutes.
If I'm coach of the Fighting Engineers, I say give Cole Pride another foul to play with. He's only got 2. Yeah. If he has the third foul to give, and there he is, just checked in. I think they were listening.
Yeah.
Check back in. I think he's got 1 foul. I mean, you have 2 fouls left, 12 minutes still on the clock. I would say give him his third foul. Play as aggressive as you want until you get your third foul. And on top of that, just try to be as defensive as you can and try to get some of their bigs in foul trouble off of it.
Problem is they have more bigs than you do, so they have maybe a few more options, and then you can't turn it over like that.
That's true. And attacking the basket, picking up or drawing a foul there. That's Thomas Johnson. I believe that foul is going to be on Savovich. Yes, it is. That's his second. And to build a little bit off of what you said earlier, you're right. 15 points. You're not going to do that, though, in one possession. We touched on it a little bit. One possession at a time. Get a basket, get a layup, get something good in rhythm. Can't force it. You still got a little bit of time to play with. 15 points in 11 and a half minutes it's a hill. It's a mountain. That's not something to ignore. But we watched Rose-Hulman and Bluffton, the women, play, and that lead, that the 25-point lead, that they came back and made it close.
Yeah, took the lead late.
Yeah. Savovich bringing the ball out, finds Schmitz. Savovich into the corner. I like that jump shot. I like the idea of it, at least.
Like it better if he made it.
Yeah, at least at the rim. And good defense there by Smith. And trying to get a little fancy acrobatic with it was Torres, and doesn't come up with the basket.
Well, I would rather see him as they attack again down low. I would rather see Torres just go up with it. Because bottom line is, it didn't look like to me, from my vantage point, that Prisbilla was going to go for the block anyway, because they didn't need to.
Yeah, that's right. Just slow down, focus on getting what you got. As nice move there by Joey Schmitz, and I think that play right there just proved exactly what you said. We see number 10 right there, Yogi Olef. He kind of stunted towards him. He didn't go up for him. He kind of just wanted to make him think that he was attacking him, and he didn't do anything with it. And I think WashU's playing a little bit of mind games here with that one.
Well, again, you can do that when you're up by 19 and 17 points. You can take a few more chances. You can maybe do a few different things defensively and offensively that you couldn't have done earlier, but they built this lead very quietly. It wasn't something that happened with a 15-0 run. They just kept getting stops, and you looked to the other side, and Rose-Hulman missed some shots they normally would have hit, so it's kind of built up over time, and they just systematically done it, and they've done a lot of it down in the paint, which is we thought would be a key in the second half.
Yeah, you're right. That this lead has kind of came out of nowhere, kind of crept up on us, as Connor May just checked back into the game, and here he is finding the ball already in his hands. And Olef trying to get something to go towards the basket, drawing a foul. It's going to get knocked out of bounds, staying here. 1 second on the shot clock. 10:04 left in the game.
Well, it says 1, but it may not be totally 1, right? They're going to have to get whatever it is, got to be right to the basket.
There it is, and did not hit the rim, so that's going to be a shot clock violation. And you're right, that could be anywhere from 0.5, because it's going to round up all the way up to 1.4 technically, because it would round down.
We just know it wasn't a whole lot of time.
It wasn't a whole lot of time. Schmitz finding Savovich, squared up. That's a good look, and he buries it. Joey Schmitz doing what he does best, shooting the basketball. And that's something that you look at. If you pass the ball, it's just like coming from the inbound. If you are passing the ball, guess who's probably going to be wide back open? Is the guy who just passed it to you.
Yeah. Well, paint points again on the other side. They're very contented just using that red down there, and almost a turnover right there. So a big break here for Rose-Hulman. But you got to find a way to get those paint points. I don't know, you might have it right there, how many paint points they have in tonight's game.
Let's take a look here. I have the individual stats. Let's go to the summary. Total points. Trying to find it. Team points probably going to be right here. We have the largest lead, 19 fast breaks. Points in the paint. WashU 34, Rose-Hulman 20. 14-point differential, and if you look at the scoreboard, what's the differential?
It's right now, 6-13. Yeah. So that's
14.
That's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Something to keep an eye on there. As we've talked about it a few times, Torres just long, rebound goes to Thomas Johnson. And Torres picking up the turnover. Attacking the rim. No good. Pride trying to get the rebound there, and they're going to get a foul. And Pride kind of sold that a little bit, and it's going to result in a foul for WashU. It's going to be foul at number 21, Connor May. And if there's anybody in the game right now that you want to get a foul on if you're Rose-Hulman, it's Connor May.
Yeah, May can certainly hurt you from the inside and outside, and a very good rebounder too. But again, we've seen at this stage, in fact, throughout the entire ballgame, when May has Savovich on him, they've really gone after Savovich because, again, he's 5 inches shorter and he cannot block the shot of Connor May. Still need a run right here. Still 9:09. Still in good shape, but you got to get some stops at the other end. You're only giving up on the season 74 points per game, and they're already at 69.
Savovich at the top of the key. Right hand, left-handed side, the bank is open. You know, it's 8 o'clock. I think the bank would be closed by now, but it's open.
That was a great shot, though. Yeah, Jake Davis, much bigger and able to take it to him strong.
Connor May trying to just play bully ball there with Savovich, and he ends up missing. Torres. Pride had Davis sealed there. Savovich fading away, tries to go back to that same shot. This time, different outcome there. I think it was a little bit too strong. Connor May, or that's Prisbilla attacking, and Prisbilla good on Torres there, and the lead is at 16 right now.
And that's what, 36 now, down low. You know, on the other side with the drive you saw, that the shot was missed by Savovich as he was fading away. Other than that, it was fine, because the last time before that shot, he ended up going strong to the basket.
And a massive block there for Jake Davis, and three-pointer missed by Connor May. Rebound Torres, and I think you're right, and Savovich, an unfortunate off his foot trying to gather the ball. And that's one of the things where you have to pick it up first and then go. Yes, you're in the transition and you're trying to keep the momentum going. Pick up the ball first and then you can keep going.
Might have had a little more spin on it too.
All right, we're into our second to last media timeout. This is Rose-Hulman basketball. We will be right back.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
That media timeout brought to you by Aspen Creek Grill. Why go anywhere else? If you're looking for fresh, amazing food and servers who truly care about your experience, you've got to try Aspen Creek Grill. You were there, weren't you, just a couple days ago?
No, I can't usually go because I'm always promised from Coach Myers he's going to buy us something. Never does.
That's just like that pizza the other day, right? Just turned it down.
Yeah, that free pizza. It's funny how he has all the gift certificates to Aspen Creek Grill, and we never see any.
I think we deserve some dinner.
I do
not
too.
gonna lie.
We'll just go charge it to him.
Yeah, we'll go in, put this on Keith Myers' bill.
That's right.
Down low, attacking in the paint, just where they want WashU. That's a basket good by Calvin Copperell.
Senior against freshman.
A little bit of experience gap there.
Yeah.
Attacking is Savovich, and a second turnover straight for Savovich.
Well, he may have touched the one before that, but I don't think I would charge him with the turnover on that one, because I don't think the pass was that great from Nate Smith.
Sure.
And it did have some awkward spin on it, and I think Savovich was thinking more about going into the corner than he was anything else. But either way, it's still a turnover.
Yeah.
And whether you want to put it on the team or whether you want to put it on a player, doesn't matter. It's still a turnover.
Przybilla trying to attack there. Three-point basket is good by Will Grudzinski. Seen a little bit of shooting there from Grudzinski. Looking at him, I didn't expect that he'd be able to shoot the basketball there, and he can shoot it pretty well.
Yeah, you know what? And they just kind of really, in a lot of ways, as they get the turnover again, and they just kind of imposed their will on Rose-Hulman here in the second half.
You see Joey Schmitz looking to attack. Savovich at the top of the key, and he gets a wide open left side layup, and we just saw it right here. Which hand did he use? He used his right hand on the left side.
Well, and what helped him is that you saw Jack Murphy set a screen, and both the players from Washington got caught up in that screen and did not make a switch, and so that's why it was an open layup. Generally, though, you got a better communication down there, and the player's going to say, I got it, and then you go at least challenge the shot.
And there's going to be a foul here. I believe that's on Savovich. That's his third, team seventh, and at the line shooting 2 is Connor May.
You're going to see Pride come back in. They're going to give it one last chance here. Yep. Torres will come back in as well. So this will be the run. If they can get something here quickly in the last 5:55, they're going to have to work, though, very fast, because Washington, they're going to use, eventually, they're going to start using that shot clock, and they're going to use it to their advantage. And if they don't turn the ball over, you may not have enough possessions in the rest of the game to make a dent. So I would imagine at some point they're going to eat it a lot, and if they get a layup, they'll take it. If not, they'll run down the shot clock.
Yep, and on top of that, I think Rose-Hulman, if they start getting a run, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing maybe a little bit of a press here. Schmitz, no good. Looking for a foul there, didn't find it. Connor May looking up to Grudzinski. Kickoff, no good. Three-point shot by Cohen. Seen Cohen a little cold this game, averaging right around 12 points per game. Kind of cold this game today here in Terre Haute. Fadeaway jump shot by Torres is good.
Well, you were mentioning a little bit ago, and of course now I think that might be a warning. Somebody might have touched the ball or we have some sweat on the floor. But you're mentioning a little bit ago about pressing. So the question is, when do you start? You're not probably going to do it right now with Pride and Torres in the lineup, but you got to keep at least one big in somehow. So you got to get another guard in there, and can you be successful in pressing down by 21 with 5:19 remaining? Because they're not doing it right now. And the thing is, if you get beat on the press, you better hustle back, or they're going to get layup after layup the rest of the night.
Yeah, for me, it's if you get it to under 20, you start putting the press on, and I think you have to keep Cole Pride in the game, even though Torres just got that nice block there, just because of Biggs matchup experience, and that was an unfortunate basket there if you're Rose-Hulman. But if you get the lead underneath 20, I think you take Torres out, you put in Savovich or Gentili, and you tell them you have to play clean defense. No fouls, go for the ball, and you have to get something, we have to get something going here. As Pride tries to get something going, doesn't get it to fall, and now I think this is where WashU starts running the clock.
Well, and they, speaking of Rose-Hulman, they just have not shot the ball as well in the second half. You have to take a look at your stats there, but I think if you look at those numbers, and I don't believe either team has shot as well as it did in the first half, but when the shots aren't falling and the other team is getting as many paint points as they have, it's pretty easy to figure out who will eventually win the game.
Yeah, I mean, to go off of that, Rose-Hulman is shooting 32% here from the field in this second half, versus the first half. They were shooting, was it 51%, almost 52%. So that's where it is. And on the side of Wash U, they're still shooting 55% in the second half.
Yeah, and again, a lot of paint points.
Nice steal there by Schmitz. As the play before this, we saw Cole Pride hit another three. So we've seen Cole Pride step up his shooting game this today.
Well, now you see it right here. I mentioned a little bit ago, Washington, they walk it across the timeline. They made a careless error in that last possession. And I would venture to say they're not going to, well, I say that and they throw it away. Why do that? You had a bad angle to throw the basketball down low. If you're going to do that, at least get a better angle to get that ball where the bigs want it. And I know their coach can't be happy with the way they finished that one.
That's exactly right. We'll talk a little bit more about Cole Pride's shooting behind the arc when we come right back. This is RHIT.TV. We'll be right back.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Welcome on back. That media timeout brought to you by IndianaSRN. Become a sponsor today. Support high school and college athletics across Indiana while putting your business in front of thousands of loyal viewers each week. Contact Coach at IndianaSRN, as well as Wheeler Mission. For over 131 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar of the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in need. Can you volunteer today? Call 317-686-6239. And the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers are getting the offensive side pretty well so far here in this last couple minutes. Defensive side needs to pick up, and a big, I thought that was a block. And Torres picking up a foul there. That's his third, team 8th, I believe, is what the scoreboard says.
And he didn't have any choice because somebody forgot to get the big down low, and otherwise it could have been a dunk and an easy 2. So at least he made him go to the free throw line. And again, Rose-Hulman is trying to pick up as early as they can. You just got to make sure that somebody's back to at least have some presence in the paint when the bigs for Washington gets down that low.
(85-66), under 3 minutes to play here, and Terre Haute. And that's a 3-point jump shot is good. That is shot by number 21, Nate Smith. And here's that press. Steal by Schmitz, goes up and one. And under 20, they put on the press. It's a 14-point basketball game with 2:30.
Yeah, Washington is not handling this press very well. They need to get a point guard out there, so I think that's why they've made the change right here. And they got a little sloppy on the inbound, and you can't just turn and throw the ball in and think it's going to be okay. You got to turn and look and see what is coming up, because you knew that at some point they were going to press.
Yeah, I don't think they were prepared for it at all. And something that I liked about that shot by Joey Schmitz is the pump fake.
Yeah.
Usually, if you're gonna, you don't see that a whole lot. You don't see the pump fake and then go back up on the same side. What you see is you fake the left and then go under with the right, and they're gonna call it.
Well, they got a timeout because they got trapped. And here's one thing you'll notice on that inbound right there. Nobody went to the basketball. And when it goes into the corner, you got to step in, reverse it quickly. You can't get it and hold it, or you can't get it in the corner and drop it. You got to be very clean with it, and if you're going to do that, you better make sure you reverse it quick, because if you do reverse it quickly, you got 3 white jerseys at this end and you take off, you got numbers at the other end of the floor. So we've seen now twice where they didn't handle the press well.
Well, and we talked about here in this corner, we call that Coffin's corner.
Right.
Because you got 2 automatic defenders. You have the out-of-bounds lines, both of them being a defender in a way, because if not, you just turn the ball over.
Right.
And then if Rose-Hulman comes up and they put 2 defenders on them, well, you have now equivalent of 4 defenders on you, nowhere to go.
Yeah.
The only way that you get anything, you have height, so you can, at least go high with it, or you can, do a little jump throw or whatever you want to look at it. But if I'm Wash U, I am getting nowhere near a corner in any sort of aspect whatsoever, whether it's that's the out-of-bounds corner or if you get across half court, because the same thing happens now, because instead of out-of-bounds, it's your back court line.
Well, you don't have any choice if nobody goes to the ball in the middle. And so when you had one player going to the right, one player going to the left, and nobody coming up, where are you going to go? You got to get it in play, otherwise you turn it over, and they wisely got a timeout. But if you're going to go to the corner, again, the inbound guy needs to step in and get it back quickly and either take off with it or reverse it to the other side.
And a turnover again for the Bears. Kick out. Studemeyer is going to shoot the 3, just long.
Oh.
They needed that one. I'm glad they got the turnover. You got to capitalize off turnovers, though.
Yeah, you got 3 straight turnovers, or pretty much 3 straight turnovers here for Washington, and you can kind of tell right now they do not like that kind of pressure.
3-pointer by May, no good. Rebound, Torres. If you're Rose-Hulman, you're kind of liking what you're about to see. You got to capitalize off of it, though. And putting the ball in that man's hands right there is never a bad thing. Pride, jump shot, and beautiful, beautiful form, jump shot, exactly what the Fighting Engineers needed. And I love what Joey Schmitz did there. They know that he can shoot the 3, so they're going to double it.
Yeah.
And in order, Schmitz saw the double coming, so instead he shot fakes, got one to go, and then drove in. And driving in is going to put, you leave not 1 but 2 defenders now in the dust, because you have 1 caught in the air and 1 is still coming at you. So attacking that, and luckily Wash had somebody in the paint to cover. Then he just shot faked them. Cole Pride, he's drawn 3 defenders. Cole Pride's wide open. Kick it out. Trust your teammate to hit that jump shot.
And Washington just hasn't handled what again, if they're number 4 in the country, and this is no knock, I'm just thinking they should be able to handle that pressure a little bit better than they have. I'm a little bit concerned if they play a really quick team with really, really, really good guards at some point. I'm not saying that Rose-Hulman doesn't have good guards, because they do. But if you run into somebody that really puts a lot of pressure on you from the beginning of the game, a lot of teams like doing that. They like that helter-skelter. And if that happens, how does Washington handle it? Because their ball handling has been a little bit suspect here in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think of a team that comes to my mind, and I've watched a lot of Anderson basketball. 2 years ago, we had a team like that, bunch of good guards, and we played a full court press right away. And I mean, that's what led us to win. I mean, led the Ravens to win the conference. And then also go on a postseason run. So, a team like that 2 years ago to go up against this Wash U team could exploit them. And that's going to be Rose-Hulman basketball. Turnover for Wash U. And if I had to guess, teams are going to use this game as some tape.
Well, I'm going to add another thing here. When you watch Washington running their press break here, nobody's screening each other. I mean, if you're going to get somebody open, you got to go screen, because what they've done so far hasn't worked. I don't understand why you're not doing more of that, just counting on somebody getting open, because Rose-Hulman's going to jump on you each time that you do.
Off-ball movement. Got to be able to do something off the basketball. As Schmitz gets blocked, and that's going to be out of bounds. off the Bears. So 16 seconds on the shot clock. Going to be Rose-Hulman basketball. And yeah, off-ball movement, there is none. There is none.
Yeah, and again, you got to think about going to the ball. But if you don't get any, if you're playing really good denial defense, which Rose-Hulman has been, it's hard to get to the basketball. So you got to use another technique, and that is screening.
And you can screen all you want, but you have to be able to use the screen. We've seen that become a problem this whole game, where guards are not coming off that post player's hip or off that post player's shoulder. You can screen all you want, but if somebody's just going to fight over it, it's kind of pointless at that point. And Rose-Hulman going to pick up a foul there.
Well, you're going to gamble here that, again, stop the clock. You're going to hope that the free throw shooter will miss both, because then you get possession back. Clock doesn't run down any further. So it's a good strategy because you need possessions.
These free throws sponsored by LifeWise Academy. LifeWise programs support educators and communities by improving student outcomes. With LifeWise Academy, your community can bring biblical verses back into the classroom. Call today at 614-367-5767. At the line shooting, that is number 32. That's Will Grodzinski as he hits that last one there. Kick out Studemeyer for three, just off the iron. Rebound, Smith put back up, and he's going to get blocked. And May comes up with the rebound, finds Grodzinski, back to May. And the Bears are just trying to get it over half court at this point.
Yeah, I got a foul here, though. I think you need time because you need possessions. I'm not so sure I'd be quite this patient.
Kick out. Yeah, I would have fouled about 20 seconds ago. Jump shot, no good. Rebound, Smith's going the other way.
Yeah, they ran 30 off the clock.
Yeah, about 2.5 seconds separate shot clock and game clock off the foot of Smith's. Luckily, Pride was there to pick it up, and Torres falling. Pride for three, bank no good. And his two, he only has 3 or 4 misses, and he's had 2 go just in and out.
Well, a great run at the end by Rose-Hulman. They just didn't have enough, despite able to get some turnovers late in this one, but still they gave Washington everything they wanted. I think it's a good sign for Rose-Hulman when they go back into conference play on Saturday against Anderson. I'll be curious to see how they respond, but you got to play good teams like this to really give you a good litmus test to find out how good you are.
Yeah.
And you played a team that's ranked 4th in the country, a team that's big for a Division III team, and I thought you played well. It was that one little stretch where it just kind of inched away, and I told you it was a quiet when it got up to 20, 21, and so find a way to stay consistent in the second half, and I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's that, what is the equivalent of what would have been the third quarter? If we played quarters, it's that third quarter where they came out from the second half maybe a little bit flatter than what they wanted to. We saw great games. I mean, we saw great games from Schmitz. We saw him do his thing, and it was great to see it in person because the last time I was here, Bluffton kind of shut Schmitz down a little bit, but to see Schmitz do his thing, shooting 71% from behind the three-point line. He went 5 for 7. It was great to see Cole Pride come out as well and shoot well. And yeah, it was just great to see these, seeing these players come off. Prisbilla for Wash U leading the way with 23. Joey Schmitz leading the way with 26, shooting 5 of 7 behind the arc. Great to see Cole Pride finish with 18, going 4 from 7. Nonetheless, this was a great game, great test to see, like you said, Troy. We're going to take a quick break here before the post-game interview, and so stay tuned for that. We'll be right back here on Rose-Hulman Basketball.
So my goal is to get involved in space industry and learn about what lies beyond the Earth's horizon. I came across Rose Rocketry. I saw, hey, they're doing some really cool stuff. They're building rockets. Being at Rose, I was able to hone my engineering skills to push myself to get involved in the field further and learn about all these different opportunities. And I don't think I would have really gotten that at a bigger university.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt.
Insulting referees.
Threatening officials.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes.
Violent language in the stands.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot. It's not a game.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you can be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. We consider it a privilege to have you as one of our listeners and viewers. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN, which means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines?
Your kid's Friday night touchdown. Just Wit HD on Roku. IndianaSRN is bringing Central Indiana high school sports right to your living room in crystal clear quality. With over 350 live contests streaming each year, from football under the lights to basketball buzzer beaters, we're putting local athletes in the spotlight. Search IndianaSRN on your Roku device today and never miss a moment of hometown glory.
All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. We're here with the post-game show. Coach, nice overall game playing the number 4 seed, Wash U. Definitely coming in, and it was a great effort. Maybe not the outcome that you wanted, but overall, what are some key takeaways that you saw from today's game?
The key takeaways is when we discipline and we do what we were taught and consistent, we can be a really good team. You know, we've played the number 3 team in the country and the number 4 team in the country. That's part of my process when I came to Rose-Hulman, being at Marietta, and I'm used to being in the spot where we are the ranked team. And coming to playing these types of teams is awesome experience for our guys. Let them know we're talented enough, but we just got to be disciplined and consistent. And Coach Pat is doing a great job over there with those guys, and they got a chance to win the whole thing. So it was great that they made the trip today and helped get us better.
Yeah, I think that's true. Cole Pride stepping up, hit some massive threes today. Yeah. I was here Saturday with a Bluffton game. I saw him hit a nice 3 from this right wing here. Capitalizing off of his game, maybe switching a little bit. I know with his size being 6'9", that you want to get something in the paint, but being able to step out and shooting the threes, what kind of adjustments does that give you guys for your offense?
Yeah, it spaces the floor a lot better, especially when he's knocking them down, and it was good to see him knock down 4 today. You know, and with our spacing and how we play, and I like to have 5 guys on the floor that can all shoot, pass, dribble, and he did a great job of knocking down some shots today and played pretty well offensively. I wish it was a couple more rebounds out there for him to get, but, man, I push Cole every day. I tell him all the time I'm probably hardest on him and Daniel, to be completely honest, just because those guys were part of my first recruiting class, and I want them to do some special things. And so he was pretty solid today.
Yeah, when I was here Saturday versus Bluffton, before that game I saw him working with Miles McGowan, and as we talked about, I see a lot of Anderson games. I remember McGowan just killing us on those the hook shots, and we saw Pride down here hit a few of them. Is that something that McGowan is like trying to teach his game to the next generation?
Absolutely, Miles has been awesome, and I am so blessed to have him and have had him join my staff, because I don't think anybody cares more about Rose-Hulman basketball besides me than him. Having played here for 4 years, and when I took the job, he was a sophomore, and he's been invested and believed in me, and I got nothing but thanks for him. And he's, Cole probably hears it a little bit louder when I'm teaching it, and it's probably a lot more easygoing hearing it from Coach Miles.
And last thing we got here is Joey Schmitz, 26 points, 5 of 7 behind the arc. Looking at conference statistics, leading the conference behind the arc, being able to when Cole Pride is down low, getting his in the paint game out, kicking out to Schmitz, just leading the offense. What does that look like? Run me through trying to get him open. You have players like Savovich who can also shoot the ball well. Offense looks good.
And I talk to these guys a lot. We haven't shot the ball well yet. In the first half, we actually shot the ball really well. But, I try to get selfless guys. I want a bunch of guys that can go out there and score 30 points, but I also want guys that are selfless enough to make the right plays. And sometimes that is tough. Joey had 3 points versus Bluffton the other day. They face guarded him and made things tough, and we had a long conversation Monday morning. And he understood the fact that, Cole had 23 because of his spacing. And when Joey goes off, we got great screening and great passing, and that's what I want our team to be, selfless. Having, tonight we got 2 guys in double figures, and, I like to see 4 or 5 because that means we're playing selfless basketball and making shots. But it's easy when you got selfless guys that believe in the program, believe in the culture, and so it's nice to have that.
Yeah, and just as a sophomore too, to me, I'm not a coach. I'm very young, but as a coach, as a sophomore, putting up these numbers, doing these things, to me, I can't wait to get to senior year and see what he can do.
I don't want to rush it. I do not want to rush it. I want to have him as long as I can. But no, man, he puts in the work and he gets what he deserves, and he's been great. And family is great. Everything about him. He's killed internships. He's obviously one of the best engineers we have academically. He's a great kid. Great kid.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by, having a quick chat with me afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Matthew Hagenbaugh here with IndianaSRN and Rose-Hulman, RHIT.TV. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you next time. Thank you all for stopping by.